Good afternoon and welcome back to Do You Aim to Attend a Top University with me, Miss Gavilla Perkins from Samuel Ward Academy. Now hopefully since our first session together you've been doing lots of research into potential courses and universities. Now on to the next session. We are going to look at what's going to prepare you most in order to gain a place at one of these prestigious universities. So what are the top universities looking for in students? Well, obviously academic excellence, of course, hence the reason their grade criteria is incredibly high. But they will also select you on your predicted grades and your personal statement. So you need to consider what is going to make you stand out from the crowd, because lots of students are able to achieve A grades, B grades, etc. But what is it that's going to make you stand out to that university and get that university to offer you that opportunity? So the Times Higher Education suggests that you should be incredibly passionate about your subject or your vocation. At the moment, I'm just supporting a student from Samuel Ward Academy who aspires to be a project manager in construction. And it's clear that from a young age, he has had a real passion for the built environment around him and consistently researches changes within that. And that's really come across in his personal statement. But be yourself. Be intellectually curious and let them know that. Be very organised, meeting deadlines, etc. And aim high, but always have a backup of universities. So for instance, out of your 5 choices, have those that stretch you academically and have those, or at least one that is, within your comfort zone too. So some supercurricular ideas for you. Now that means above and beyond just the mere AQA specification or whatever specification that you're studying in your A-levels or your BTECs. Read, watch and listen. So explore your area of interest in the real world. Now I'm going to come on to in a minute some suggestions from top universities of what you should be reading, watching and listening to, for instance podcasts, etc. and fiction and non-fiction, documentaries, etc. But you need to place your subject area and or your vocation in the real world and how it's changing and dynamic. Maintain your hobbies. Universities love to hear about your hobbies, whether it be dancing, sport, etc. Use any free time you have to learn new skills or maybe learn a language, join a club, for instance, debate club. The universities love to see your extracurricular activities. Maybe seek some work experience. I know in the previous lockdown, one of my students in geography who's just had an interview at Cambridge University to study geography, she did a virtual work experience with a coding company in geographical investigations. And that really came across as, made her stand out in her application. And there's lots of virtual work experience available for students. Take on a leadership role within school, for instance, like a school ambassador, or a literacy leader. In a minute, I'm going to show you where you can potentially try some university taster courses. Again, things that you can get certificated for and mention in your personal statement. And build your cultural capital. And what I mean by this is keeping abreast of contemporary events and have a real rich culture. So things like at the moment online theatre productions, music, orchestra, the arts, museums, they're all doing online versions as we can't actually attend in person at present. So where you'll find some of these cultural and supercurricular ideas, lots of universities have provided subject-specific preparatory reading lists. Now, Cambridge University have done a Discover Downing College, which there is the link here, which in a minute I'm going to pause so that you can explore these 2 links. And then Cambridge University have provided a PDF which separates every single subject possible that Cambridge University offer, from architecture to engineering to history to Latin, whatever it might be. And when you click on that link, it gives you a wide range of podcasts, suggested reading, watching, etc. that they would like you to do in preparation for studying at a top university. So please pause me here and have a look at some of the wealth of resources that the universities are putting out there in order to get you as ready as possible for this application process. and also to check that subjects for you. So don't just explore one thing, explore as many as you possibly can. So moving on, some of the online undergraduate courses and tasters that you could potentially use, there is a brilliant website called FutureLearn. So in a moment I'm going to ask you to pause to have a little look at this. Now this platform offers free undergraduate courses, which are short courses that are provided by some of the top universities across the world and also in the UK. And they're sort of beginner taster guides, and you will gain a certificate of achievement and completion once you've done this, which again you could mention in your personal statement. At the moment, I'm doing one from Harvard University, looking at sustainable cities of the future. And it's really contemporary and contextualises these studies at present and what it would feel like to learn them at university. So a couple of examples I've put on the screen here. So at the moment, University of Reading are running a beginner's guide to writing in English for university study. So it's looking at your writing skills to write university level essays using things like Harvard referencing. And there's also things like veterinary practice, so sort of looking at different scientific explorations in veterinary science at present. So there is a time span on where you need to complete these by. So it might be, say, when you start it, you have a 3-week period, and it will tell you how many hours a week you'll need to do in order to fulfill the time span. You have to complete them during the time span in order to gain your certificate. So it does say where the courses are free, and it gives you a list of them. So this is an excellent opportunity for you to broaden your knowledge in different careers and subject areas. And it's quite a lot of fun as well. So pause me here and have a little look at those. So I mentioned earlier I'm doing a Harvard University taster course on sustainable cities. So if you have a look down at the bottom, there is another web link, this time for Oxford University. Now, Oxford University are offering, much like FutureLearn, free online taster courses. Now, you will receive a document of participation. However, the official certificates are quite costly, so I probably wouldn't go there. But you still, as soon as you finish, you will get a certificate that you can either screenshot or whatever and save for future, so that you can comment on this in your university application personal statement. So I was looking at some of them, and they show you the kind of academic research that's occurring at these universities. So Princeton University, one of the really brilliant Ivy League universities in America, is offering the art of structural engineering and looks at building of bridges. So it takes you through sort of the construction of the Golden Gate Bridge you can see there in San Francisco. So obviously it gives you a start date and an end date. You can enroll, and it will tell you how many hours a week that you would need to spend on this. There was another one in media law. I thought this was really interesting, looking at ethical issues around digital media. I think that's most of us are using that all the time at the moment, and that's done by the New York University. So all hugely prestigious ones. You'll notice that one's already started, but you can enroll in the next one in May, for instance. Now, don't just go for the things that you might be absolutely tunnel visioned on one aspect, but do explore other potential careers or subjects that interest you, because you might just surprise yourself. So, lots for you to do again, so you can go back through the slides and actually sort of explore some of the supercurricular reading that you could potentially start, sort of making a list of some of the courses that maybe you'd like to do during lockdown and maybe in the Easter holidays, February half term, summer holidays. But do keep a note of all of these that you are trialling and all the certificates you have, because when it comes to your personal statement, you can actually comment on some of this supercurricular research that you have conducted. It will be very impressive and really make you stand out from the crowd. So I'll leave you, as before, with a quote. "I didn't get there by wishing for it or hoping for it, but by working for it," from Estee Lauder. This is so true. Academic ability is brilliant, and we try and we strive and we improve. But what is going to get you there, obviously above and beyond that academic excellence, is you looking to seek and explore your subjects in further detail, and it will really make you stand out from the crowd. Be yourself and be intellectually curious at all times, and seek support for your ambitions and your goals. I wish you lots of luck in your future. Take care.